Okay, it's a video for the Letshuoer S08, and this is a planar set tuned how planars. This is tuned to the strength of these transducers. This type of driver, this is the tuning that best fits them. With 2 years of experience with the Planar Wars, I think I've done 10 videos on them. This is where this stuff shines. I'm going to give a shout out to Michael Bruce pretty soon because he saw this coming before the companies did it. But let's get to you guys. There's a set called the Juz Ear Butterfly 61T, and I got it a couple days ago and I graphed it, and it graphs just like the Camper 74E. So you can check that graph. It was so close that I had to redo the graph. I had to redo Timmy's DaVinci because it's got unique dips in it to make sure my mic and I wasn't confusing files. That set right there, that Juz Ear Butterfly 61T, graphs absolutely almost identically to the Camper 74E. I think it's like $200, and I'm going to do a video for that. If you comment below this video and you are a subscriber, and I confirm that, this is going to go out to you. So good luck to you. And that would be announced on the unboxing channel. Now, relative to that, the signed DaVinci went out 4 hours ago. The signed Critical went out 4 hours ago. Same visit to the post office. And then the LM and the EM10, that's going to go out tomorrow, and then I'm all caught up. Finally, I caught up after those months of sickness. Now let's get back to this. That is a graph of the set we're talking about today, and this blue one is a graph of what was a very, very popular set done by the same company that a lot of people loved. They sold a lot of this, but a lot of people that didn't like it kept citing the same thing. It was related to the timbre and the imaging, and a lot of that has to do with that big plateau that you see up there. I know this for sure because a lot of people played around with dampening and with other things that took that down, and one of the pioneers of this is Michael Bruce, so he has to get a shout out right now. Michael Bruce started doing tunings that took planars to where they really should have been the whole time. Planars are good at being increased with the low end and not getting what is called by me and others a mid-frequency penalty. That means that when you increase the mid and the sub-bass, you immediately start to degrade the mids, which is the fundamentals of vocals and lots of instruments, which means you're degrading the overall resolution perceived by everybody and everything that you listen to. Too much bass is a killer. Planars, however, don't choke as fast as dynamic drivers. And Michael Bruce was really on to something when he was taking modified S12s and retuning them. And a lot of the ones that Michael Bruce had, Shortbus audio, I'll link to him in the video, remind me if I don't, was playing with increasing the sub bass and mid bass and then lowering the ear gain. This allows you to turn up the volume more and not get the fatigue. You can still hear it all clearly because it's a planar, and that's what they do good. Remember, planars were the sets that I cited and pointed to Black Sabbath Sweetleaf 2 minutes and 30 seconds and said I thought that that was a poor file for years. And then I heard the P1 Max, I think it was, the first Tin Hi-Fi planar. When I heard that playing back the Black Sabbath bassist and drummer, that sounded like an awesome file. It took a planar to do that. And then I started to listen to it on a susfire and other stuff and realized it's an awesome quality track. Earphones could never do it well in dynamic driver and balanced armature. Planars do it great. It's the ability to separate the drummer and the bassist because precision, because that membrane with the etches in it versus a driver that is extending, retracting, and returning to stationary, which is a hertz, 55 times in a second is what 55 hertz is. So you can imagine how busy a driver that has that type of motor structure is. It kind of chokes when you put a lot of low end into it and expect to get good quality mids. It doesn't really happen. Planars can do that. Michael Bruce keyed in on that. Letshuoer is kind of close to Michael Bruce, so I've got to say, Did Shortbus audio inspire this set? Did Mike say that out loud? Because I'm really not on the net because my son. But this is a lot like what a lot of stuff he did. And for this reviewer, it's epic. And it's also under $100. This is how planars should be tuned. If you're going to play with a planar set, you can play up with the bass a little bit and you can lower the upper mids, and you're not going to lose it as quickly as you do with other drivers. It's the way it is, and Michael Bruce has been doing it for a while. Let's talk about music now. In the low end with Kill Jill, the triple drop, the lowest being at 38 hertz. Speaking of Michael Bruce, he said it's a little lower. I remeasured it. I guess it's where it's different files. So 38 hertz is the lowest hit. This hits good, it hits clean, it's nice and clear, it's got the power and the force that I expect. I did play with EQ just because why not, and it will take it like a champ. This is a very good set for doing that as well. As we move into bass guitar, 4 and 5 string, the pulls, the plucks, the releases, the ringing on the string, which has a lot to do with post 500 hertz, sounds great. It sounds very clean, it sounds very natural. On a track like Black Sabbath Sweet Leaf, I wish I could put that up, but I got dinged for that. Even just the video without any audio on it, I got dinged by them, which is sad, but it is what it is. It plays that awesome. So it plays a bass guitar great, and it plays a bass guitar and a drum kit that are doing kind of semi-solos at the same time. Like a champ. Like a champ. This set is probably better than any planar that I think I've ever heard. And you think, well, Chifi. It happens. It does. And it's right here in front of me. I did not expect the Letshuoer to be a superstar in the planar because I thought that market had been played out, but no, they I guess nail it before you walk away, and they did. If I was another company, I would go ahead and kind of do what they did generally. As we get to Bonham's kick drum, which is from the 4th album, it's from a track called When the Levee Breaks. Dun, sh, dun, 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 sh. It's very powerful. All the reviews at the time by the magazines, I think Parade, Rolling Stone, and others, there's videos about how that track was made. It was produced in a place that's, it escapes me now, hanging mics down a stairwell. They were using something they borrowed from the Stones or the Beatles that was in a truck outside, and they had it wired, big cables running into, I think it was Hadley Grange is the name of the place. If you're a Led Zeppelin fan, you might be able to mention it below. It's rock and roll history, and one of the reasons that it's keyed in on is because Bonham's entrance into that track is so absolutely iconic. It's not simply him coming in with a kick drum. It's the way it was produced with the swirls. This plays that back excellent. So when we talk about the low end, it's perfect for a lot. I'm listening to Bob Marley right now, and I was listening to it on this set. It sounds like a beast. And Led Zeppelin sounded like a beast. As we move into vocals, Chris Cornell, Lane Staley, Blondie, male and female vocals, you get to another point where planars shine. When you increase the mid bass on dynamic drivers, you immediately start to take away from the quality of female vocals. That doesn't happen with planars. And let me bring back up the S12 because there were a lot, that has more. There were a lot of people that said that they liked that, and they listened to J-pop, K-pop. Look at Timmy's video from way back. I think he was a fan of the S12 or the Z12, and they all had kind of that energy up top. But they also had the low end. Z's collab had more mid-bass, but planars can do this well. So female and male vocals sound great on this set. There is no problem there. They sound authentic. There's not too much harmonics. It's not fatiguing. It doesn't sound veiled or dark. There's nothing seemingly missing there. As we get to what is the strongest point of this set, actually, it's the harmonics. So cymbals, keyboards, pianos, guitars, electric and acoustic, with or without distortion pedals, sound excellent. They sound so good that you sometimes want to turn it up, not because you can't hear it, but because you feel like just vibing out, turning it up, like being at the show. With this set, you can do that. With a lot of other sets, it's a 30-minute or less event. Like you feel like, I love these 3 tracks coming up. You know, Sneaking Sally Through the Alley, Hey Hey Julia, Sailing Shoes, like a Robert Palmer from Sneaking Sally Through the Alley album. Like there's some albums that have like triples where you can go through, they're all connected. You feel like turning it up because you really like that part of the album. You want to hear it better. You can do that here, and it doesn't fatigue you. So bass, mids, treble does great. I already said how I'm going to rank it, so let me put up the scale. Is it a dumpster fire? Absolutely not. Hope it was free? Somebody's going to get it for free. Coping is working? Not at any point, actually. Competes with its peers? I don't know what its peers are with this tuning of a planar out of the box without any filter work done by you. at $99. I don't know that set. I'd buy it absolutely in a second. I would. Going to shamelessly hype it. Yeah, I don't know the last time I put this up. Going to shamelessly hype it, but I think it's been at least a month. Try to keep that spaced out. And even if I think that, keep it spaced out. Like do that video a week or two later, because I don't want to be stepping on my own wrecks by saying something's awesome and then using that as an example later as something that's getting cooked. Like that's not really how it works. You guys are not rich. Your money should be valued. So if you have $100, or if that is a lot of money to you and you want a planar, or you want a planar that's tuned well and you found the other ones prior to be odd, the timbre was weird, probably the upper mids and treble, the tonality was odd, probably the upper mids and treble, the imaging was kind of odd, probably the same area. This is a set that, and people who have some of Michael Bruce's samples or sets that he tuned, ask them, or they can jump in on any platform, whether it's Facebook or Hi-Fi Guides or Head-Fi. They can vouch for the bass and low pina done by a planar set. It's legit and it works, and Letshuoer is doing it for $99. I'm going to shamelessly hype it. I'm going to do an updated Planar Wars video just because I think this eats and stomps on sets that are priced way above it. There's some planars that are $200, $300, $400, and this eats those for breakfast. It's my opinion. So that's my review. First time hyping in a while. I'm probably going to take a break for the Butterfly 61T because this is a set. I got to confirm if there's a adjusted tuning, because the previous graphs for this don't look like anything like mine. And again, I did my Timmy Da Vinci, and my Da Vinci measure looks just like Timmy's on his own graph. So it's not my microphone. That's not the variation. It could be an adjusted tuning, or I have a one-off, which means I'd have to buy another set. I'm lucky, but I can't do a video for a set that's unique and not standard tuning. So Letshuoer S08, really good job. Thank you for sending it to me. I actually got sent two. Thank you very much. And I'm going to be giving two of those away, but the person that comments below this video is going to be the Jazir Butterfly 61T. So good luck to you guys. Have a nice whatever's left of your weekend, and I'll see you guys in about 2 days. Bravo, Letshuoer. Good job. I'm out.